Now at 6 this morning, a man is in jail and a woman is injured after a shooting that led to a car wreck and then a standoff. We'll give you a look at the bigger picture connecting all of it.
And concerns are growing about safety on MARTA during the World Cup after someone was shot Friday night. Get a look at how MARTA PD is preparing for the big event.
We're talking about cell phones again this morning. I spoke to a cell phone pouch company, and I'm breaking down the new school law even more for you.
With the return of moisture into the forecast, daily rain chances will be the normal throughout your 7-day forecast. We'll go over which days have a better shot at seeing some rain compared to others coming up.
Good morning, Central Georgia. Happy Monday. Thanks so much for being up with us at 6. I'm Megan Western.
And I'm Connor Hendricks. Good to see you this morning. Hopefully you had a nice and restful weekend and were able to get out, and it seems like we had a million festivals this past weekend. Alex, the warm and toasty stretch continues again this week.
All right, thanks so much, Alex. Time now 6:02. Let's go ahead and get straight to your local morning headlines. And this morning, Bibb deputies are investigating after a woman was shot, then hit by a car. Deputies tell us that 35-year-old Delmar Black was arguing with a woman inside of a gas station on Mercer University Drive. That's when they say that argument escalated and he shot her. She ran into the roadway where she was hit by a car. This morning, that woman is in critical condition. Now, Delmar Black, the man deputies say shot that woman, was arrested after a police standoff. We're told negotiators tried to talk to him in his car after the shooting. He tried to get away, but deputies later stopped him hours later outside a gas station on Harrison Road. SWAT teams arrested Black just after 9 last night. This morning, we're still working to learn what his charges are. And in case you missed it, the Perry City Council has called a special meeting for tomorrow afternoon. Council will meet at 2 p.m. on the second floor conference room in their city administration building that's on Washington Street. Officials are going to be discussing personnel matters. It is open to the public. We're going to have more of these stories later this morning for you. Go ahead and find them all over on 13WMAZ.com.
Thank you, Megan. 6:03 this morning, and across Georgia, as safety concerns grow surrounding the use of MARTA during the World Cup, MARTA is now working to make the system safer. The latest issue came Friday night. That's when someone was shot at the Midtown station. MARTA police chief says that they are close to an arrest and addressed upcoming changes. 100 to 150 officers from Denver will come to help MARTA police, and MARTA officers are working on 12-hour shifts during match days. With the system now under federal investigation, MARTA police says the questions are welcome.
Time now 6:04, and public high schools across the state are getting ready to join the middle schools in the state cell phone ban. Governor Brian Kemp signed the cell phone ban for high schoolers into law about a month ago.
Yeah, that law says that schools must come up with rules to prohibit phones during the day. Our education reporter Naomi Washington spoke to an Atlanta-based company offering schools one potential way. So, Naomi, tell us about these cell phone pouches.
Good morning. As Georgia schools figure out how to enforce the new cell phone ban, some will be looking at technology designed to keep phones out of students' hands during the school day. The cyber pouch is one option. Once a phone is placed inside, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and cellular data are blocked. That means no texting, no social media, and no internet access. Taki Skoris is the CEO of Solaris. He says the pouch is designed to keep students off their phones without taking away the devices entirely. A heavy-duty Velcro seals the pouch closed, and if a student tries to open it during class, Skoris says the sound is hard to miss. He's also a father of 3 in public school, and he says he understands why some parents worry about reaching their children during an emergency.
But in the case of an emergency or after class or in between classes, if they need to get a hold of their parents, they open it up. There's a very strong Velcro. They pull it out, and the phone's working within seconds.
Now, the new law doesn't require schools to use these cell phone pouches. Instead, districts could decide for themselves on how to keep phones out of students' hands. That could mean storing devices in a designated area in classes, keeping them in lockers, or using those pouches.
Alrighty, thanks so much, Naomi. Under this law, parents have to contact the main office to get in touch with their student. In the event of school emergencies, the law says that communication should happen through the school's emergency communication system.
The law does have exceptions for students with an accommodation or an IEP. Schools will also need to make a procedure for kids who need to arrange their daily rides, have dual enrollment, or any kind of events off campus. 6:06 this morning, checking in with Alex. And Alex, I see on that 7-day forecast we are hitting the 90 mark a couple times this week.
Yes, finally at long last, getting into a pretty consistent stretch of some near 90-degree high temperatures, and maybe even some of the warmest numbers that we have seen so far in 2026.
All right, thanks so much, Alex. Still ahead, this year's long war between Russia and Ukraine continues with new strikes happening overnight. Get the latest as those strikes target energy infrastructure.
Now, we are keeping track of traffic conditions in our area. Quite frankly, it is a mess outside. The roads, for lack of a better term, are treacherous, to say the least. Freha Bar has been on top of this all morning long. She's been in the newsroom working with our morning crew, and it seems like we have other crew members that are coming in at this time, kind of helping with this this very Herculean task. Freha, what is the latest right now? Because earlier you had a slew of things happening in our area.
Yeah, guys, about an hour ago, Perry Police Department actually posted on Facebook that all interstates in central Georgia are closed. You just heard from the Monroe County EMA director that this is not patchy ice, it's edge to edge ice. So we're hearing reports of black ice too. That's why the state issued an ice alert. So do not get on the roads unless it's an emergency. That'll help first responders get to people in need of help sooner rather than later. And since we started hearing reports of crashes and lane closures over 12 hours ago now, we're still hearing there's stalled lanes with no movement. People are calling into the newsroom earlier to let us know they're driving up north and they're still seeing semis struggle to get up hills. So we're going to check back in with you after the break. Reporting live from the newsroom, I'm Freha Bar for 13 WMAZ News.
All right, Freha, thank you so much. Again, we are continuing to get many reports of those conditions, so we're going to continue to follow those and bring you the latest as we go throughout this morning. We're going to take a quick break, I believe, and we'll be back with more as we continue to monitor these snowy and icy conditions throughout central Georgia this morning.
See you in a bit.
Now, of course, we are seeing a lot of reports of calls, crashes, drivers needing help. So this is some statewide numbers we're getting from Georgia State Patrol. 56 total crashes, 240 phone calls. As we've heard from a lot of EMA directors, though, this morning, those numbers continue to grow as people are trying to get out on the roads right now.
And it is because of the ice that is on the road. I mean, we're not talking, as one EMA director, I think it was Christina Bramlett, talked about, it's not just patches of ice. It is quite literally sheets of ice encrusted on the roadways right now. And it is certainly a mess out there. Right now on the phone, we have a stranded driver. Her name is Lynn. Lynn, can you hear us this morning?
I can.
Hi there, Lynn. Good morning to you. I understand you're running out of gas. Kind of tell us, you're 475. Where exactly in 475 are you right now?
I, first of all, am not running out of gas. I think that's somebody else.
Okay.
But I turned onto 475 right off of I-75. I'm right before Bolingbrook.
And can you kind of just paint the picture for us, Lynn? What are you seeing right now, and how long have you been in traffic this morning?
I've been in traffic at a dead standstill since 11 o'clock last night.
Oh, my.
When we first got in traffic, the northbound was completely blocked with traffic. It has since been cleared, and there is it's just deserted now. Every once in a blue moon, I'll see one or two cars come down northbound, but southbound has been completely stagnant since 11 o'clock last night. No movement. Everything's completely iced over at this point. I don't even know. It's not good. We've seen, when we first got here, there were approximately 2 or 3 tow trucks that came past us and 1 police car, and that is it. That is it. No more emergency vehicles, no more. You know, we got a Georgia alert this morning saying that the roads have been treated for ice. They have not where we are, and they also said that the road was open, and it is not where we are. And so maybe I'm confused about where it said that was the case, but I don't believe I am.
I know we spoke with someone of the towing company earlier, and they said in that 475 area it was just hard to get to all those people who are out on all the roads, because not only is it hard to get to the sheer number of people out there, but also just their cars having a hard time removing vehicles and being able to help people out. I'm sure a scary situation for you, Lynn. Can you talk about, what it was like overnight having to be out there stuck in your car?
Well, luckily it's just adults in my car, and luckily we have gas. So we were able to keep the car running. We don't have kids. We're not in any emergency situation. It has not been the best of things. But, you know, we've got one sick one here in the car. And so, you know, and it's, you know, there are just things that come with being stranded that does not make it comfortable at all. But it could be worse than what it could be worse, put it that way. But it's been an experience for sure. And I don't even know at this point when we're going to get out of it. So.
Yeah, Lynn, I know this is really an unfortunate situation for you and so many other drivers that are on 475 and other interstates in our area that are stranded and can't get anywhere. And for you, you've been stranded since 11 last evening, as you mentioned, and you said you don't know when you will be rescued or whenever you will at least be able to move so that you could perhaps go home or to your destination. But have you been able to talk to anyone, perhaps a tow truck or emergency officials, to maybe get a timeline on this?
No. There's all we've been able to do is keep up with 511. But like I said, that's not even proved to be accurate. And you know, we saw three. Like I said, I think I saw 3 tow trucks come by, but they're going down the road, and you know, and then 1 police car, and that's it. And there's been nobody else to even. I mean, there are some other cars now, barely, but there are some other cars coming down the northbound. I mean, it's not impossible. But I've seen no road crew, no emergency vehicles other than those 3. So I don't know where. I mean, I know that it's, you know, there's a lot going on, but there certainly isn't a lot of anything trying to assist this area that I have seen at all.
Well, first and foremost, we are glad that you all are safe and not harmed in all of this, and we hope that we're able to get moved and get to a place of safety as soon as possible. Again, we know our EMA crews and our emergency vehicles are working as hard as they can to clear out some of those big areas where we've seen a lot of buildups. Right. Another one of our crews, Sammy Costas, is holed up in her apartment this morning. So, Sammy, what can you share from where you are in Macon?
Yeah, guys, an interesting outlook here off Zebulon Road. We're from my balcony, so you can see kind of an above look of what it looks like right now. All this snow has not really moved from last night. Like you said, it stayed because of this cold. And we're going to punch in a little bit here to the road, as you guys have been talking about how it's some icy conditions out there. You can see all that ice on the pavement. I was walking out just to my car this morning to get something. It is definitely dangerous. Underneath this beautiful powder can be some slushy danger. You don't want to go out there. Even walking can possibly be a bad idea. So make sure you have some grippy shoes on, something like that, to see what you are walking on and to be safe out there. Try not to drive, of course, in these conditions. Right here you can see how much snow we really got off of Zebulon Road. It's beautiful, but of course you want to be safe. Live in Macon, Sammy Costas, 13 WMAZ News.
Well, today will be a big day for the small town of Plains, where Jimmy Carter lived most of his life. Frederick Price joins us live to share how his former neighbors are getting ready ahead of the funeral. So, Frederick, what can we expect ahead of the funeral services today?
Hey, Caitlin, good morning to you again. Yeah, a big day here in Plains. It is typically quiet here. About 550 or so people live here, but this town obviously in the national spotlight because this is the hometown of former President Jimmy Carter, and it will be his final resting spot as he will be laid to rest alongside his wife, Rosalind Carter. Of course, today will be a national day of mourning for President Carter. President Biden making this declaration. The former president will continue lying in state until 7 this morning, less than 30 minutes from now. He will then depart the U.S. Capitol for the final time. A motorcade will travel to the Washington National Cathedral for a funeral service happening at 10 this morning. The former president will then return to Plains for a private service at Maranatha Baptist Church, followed by a final motorcade through Plains to the Carter home. We're also learning this morning President Biden and Carter's grandson, Jason, are scheduled to speak at the funeral happening this morning in D.C. And as a reminder, a national day of mourning means federal agencies will be closed today. That includes U.S. Postal Services and U.S. courts. Now, more memorials and tributes are appearing in downtown Plains for Jimmy Carter and on a strip of businesses here in the downtown area. A few owners say this is normally a slow time for them this time of the year. The last 2 weeks, of course, busier than usual. Plains Peanuts and General Store downtown are extending their hours to give people a chance to come try the ice cream there. Owner Amy Green says Jimmy Carter enjoyed it himself, Green says this past Saturday alone, they did 3 days worth of business. Remarkable. And for today, it'll be all hands on deck as they anticipate longer lines.
My husband and I were open New Year's Day, and we thought it would just be the two of us and we'd run it and it wouldn't be very busy. We had to call for 3 of our friends to come work for us.
Yeah, so as she just said, a busy time for sure, all hands on deck. And a lot of businesses like Green's are small staff here in Plain, so they appreciate people's patience as they handle overwhelming crowds in the town this week. We're still waiting to hear from the Secret Service about downtown road closures today, and when we learn more about those, we will let you know. But as you can see behind me, the barricades are up as hundreds of people are expected to be here in Plains, Georgia to pay their respects and say goodbye to the former president.
And we are continuing our back-to-school coverage this morning with a lot more students back in the classroom. Megan Western joins us live from Central High School. So how is it out there, Megan?
Good morning, Connor. Things are good out here. I don't know if you can hear the band playing. You probably can. We are inside right now, so it is a bit loud. So hopefully it's not too loud for your ears. You see the cheerleaders are behind me. They're getting ready for the first day of school, too. And it's not just the schools here in Bibb County that are headed back. We have schools all across Central Georgia that are headed back today. Just a few of them are also Baldwin County that's going back. We also have Macon and Twiggs County that's headed back today. So those students are all ready to head back to the classroom. And tomorrow, we also have a couple other students that are going back to the classroom. Folks in Johnson County, Lawrence County, Dodge County, Telfair County, and Pulaski County are also headed back. Now, something for back here in Bibb County for parents to keep in mind is that the school board did just approve their $400 million budget. So that includes salary increases, but it also includes a $20 million deficit. So that's also something to keep in mind. Now, back in June, the board voted to create a truancy coordinator and a K-5 English language arts coordinator. Members say the new jobs aim to address reading and attendance challenges. Plus, they hope to combat retention obstacles by giving all certified staff a 3% raise. The budget funds schools through June 30th of next year. Bibb County Schools also says they're planning to increase property taxes by more than 4%. So for you, that means that a person who owns a $200,000 home would pay around $52 more in their property taxes. This is only for homes who do not have a homestead exemption, so keep that in mind. The millage rate would rise to 14.67 mills. You have another chance to weigh in on this millage rate on August 14th at the Professional Learning Center over on Riverside Drive. Now, lots of people at home are probably getting ready for school with the first day jitters. That goes for new teachers as well. That's why we have Naomi Washington. She is joining us today. Naomi, tell us about how these new teachers are gearing up and how they're kind of feeling.
Yes, good morning. That's right. Bibb County has a long history of hiring former students to become educators down the road. It's an awesome testament to how much the district really pours into students, and then they come back to pour into the future generation. The two new teachers I spoke to are actually both Howard High School graduates. First, let me introduce you to Gabby Floyd. She is starting in her first year teaching at McKibben Lane Elementary School. Floyd will teach a kindergarten special education transition class. This is her first back-to-school picture from when she was little. She is a former Alex II student, Howard Husky, and University of Georgia grad. She says she will need to get used to not being in the student seat.
Especially coming from student teaching, I've always had another teacher above me telling me what to do, and I was student teaching, also still turning in assignments and things like that. So I'm still getting used to the idea of being the one in charge, but I'm still really, really excited.
I have no doubt that Gabby and the other teacher who we'll talk about later will settle into teaching just fine. Gabby actually comes from a family of educators. She says her mom is a teacher, and she has a few aunts who are educators too.
Alrighty, definitely excited to see their story. Make sure that you stick with us through the 6 a.m. hour right here on 13 WMAZ Morning. We're going to have more from the Chargers on their very first day of school a little later on. Connor?
Time is now 6:03 this morning on our final day of Stuff the Truck. Well, this week we're asking you to join in on fighting food insecurity here in our area, and our Stuff the Truck event is underway right now. We're partnering with the Middle Georgia Community Food Bank to help provide meals for thousands of Central Georgia families. In total, more than 17% of our area is food insecure, and by helping us stuff the truck, you can help put food on the table for your neighbors in need this holiday season. Megan Western joins us live from the Walmart in Warner Robins, making sure we start day 3 without a hitch. So Megan, how's it going out there?
Good morning, Connor. Things are going well. I don't know how well you can see, but the doors on the Walmart literally just opened and we're all ready for you. The big truck is already out here in front of us for you to come out here and get things filled in there. And we also have our bin, which obviously is empty. It's not hard to miss us at all because, again, we'll be everywhere that you see this Middle Georgia Community Food Bank sign, and you really can't miss the truck. We're looking forward to seeing you today. We'll be out here until 8 o'clock. But all week long, you guys have already been showing up and really proving that you can make a difference in the community. And of course, when times get hard, our faith communities step up as well. Now, during this year with inflation and the government shutdown really just ending not that long ago, and also the other rising costs and concerns that are on the way, it was 2 different faith communities that decided to step up. The Umia Mataji Temple in Macon, who has collected 4,000 pounds of food for the Middle Georgia Community Food Bank. Of course, across town, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church also delivered meals to families, and they've been doing it for 40 years. Both groups say their faith drives them to serve.
We treat each and every person as a family member. So we don't differentiate between the race or religion. We just want to serve the people.
Of course, the Middle Georgia Community Food Bank is accepting non-perishable items, so when you come out here, get us some canned goods. You can also donate monetarily, though, if you're interested in that. You can also find all those details right now on our website, 13wmaz.com. Alrighty, David, how are things going out in Macon?
Well, it's going great here in Macon, specifically the Walmart in Zebulon. I'll tell you, I came here 20-30 minutes ago. The parking lot was absolutely empty. Now the activity is picking up. Walmart is officially open, and we're now set up for the last day of Stuff the Truck. We have the tent right behind me, the truck. Now, our goal, of course, is to fill up the truck. The truck is empty as of right now, but we want the truck to be filled with boxes by the end of the day. So we're going to be here until 8 o'clock in the evening. Later today, Ben Jones, he's going to be here taking control of things, having a good time, and encouraging people to come out and donate. But of course, it's the morning, so that's my job as of right now. So, of course, please come out. If you're in the Macon area, come and stuff the truck, donate non-perishable foods. If you're in Walmart, of course, buying groceries, it will go a long way, especially for the families here in Central Georgia. So I'll be back with more later in the show. Live in Macon, meteorologist David Guerrero, 13 WMAZ.